So for about 4 months straight, every single night, I physically heard sounds when I was going to sleep. And it all started the day/night when I got let go from my job, and I was feeling awful that night. And I actually thought that my wife was playing some music on her phone. And I said, "Hey, can you turn that off?" She said, "Nothing's playing." I checked the TV. I put my ear up to the ceiling and floor and closed all the windows. I got back in bed, still heard this sound. And I just remember laying there thinking, what is happening right now? And then I just knew that it was God. And the next night it happened again. And I knew that it was just a reminder that God was with me. And it only happened at night. And I would just lay in bed and just have tears going down the sides of my face. And I just knew, I didn't know when this was going to end, but I knew that he was with me.
And it was in that time that you actually got the lyrics, like the bare bones lyrics for what would be the song Provider, right?
Yeah, so it was really simple because that's just how I work. And it was, "You're the provider, I'm loved by you, I'm gonna be okay." And that "I'm gonna be okay" was just something that I was having to say to myself because I wasn't sure in my mind, but I knew in my spirit, and I just needed to keep saying that because I knew that was the actual reality. And so essentially I heard these sounds every single night for 4 months, and that was the entire time I was unemployed up until the point where I got the job that I have now, which is the favorite job I've ever had. And when I got the offer, I thought they could take this away. They could say, "No, we don't want you anymore." And I just remember knowing, okay, my peace doesn't come from this because you're the provider.
When Alex was first joining the worship team, he came up to me and told me about this experience. And I remember I just kind of flippantly said to him, "Well, dude, we're about to record an EP next year, and I think it would be awesome if we use that sound that you heard," because you had actually you had created the sound on GarageBand.
Yeah, I
like
tried.
You've done your best to replicate it.
Yeah.
And I thought we should put that sound on our EP somehow. And so I said that. And then a few months later, we created songwriting groups to actually write the EP. Alex and I happened to be in the same songwriting group. It wasn't like totally planned, it just kind of happened. And so he shows up to one of our songwriting group meetings, and he takes out his MacBook and he plays his rudimentary version of his song Provider and with those original lyrics. And I remember we heard that, and right as we heard that, I mean, one, I knew that it was anointed. I knew the Lord was on it. It was so simple, but it was powerful. You could feel the depth of it coming from his story. And then secondly, these other two lines just came to me, and they would be the other two lines that would actually be added to the song. The first one was, "And there's an open heaven," and the second one was, "I've never been closer." And so we added those two lines to that song that night, and fast forward to the actual recording of the EP, we have the song Provider. And what was crazy is that we ended up doing the song Provider in the key of A, which was the exact key of the note that Alex was hearing supernaturally for those 4 months. And it just showed that, wow, God's been in this from the very beginning.
So I made my kind of rudimentary version of this sound, and I actually showed it to a friend of mine, Micah Turnbow. He's very prophetic, and I showed it to him, and he said very confidently, "Oh yeah, that's the sound that grass makes in heaven when Jesus walks by and brushes his hand along it." Really specific, number one, and who else am I? That's all I have to go off of, and I just took that as another confirmation that, okay, I'm not crazy. He's heard this before, and it just made me feel like, okay, God is with me even more than I even thought before.
Come on.
To think that my awful experience would get to be used in this way is such an honor. And when I look back, I would do it all again to know that someone could encounter God from this.
So this is one of the many stories that go into the EP Provider, and we're so excited to share this song.